Welcome, ClearSpeak Academy channel. Story: The Girl Who Spoke to Shadows. In the old town of Marrow's End, there stood a house no one dared to enter. Covered in ivy, with windows like dark eyes and a crooked chimney that sighed in the wind, it was known as the Hollow House. Children ran past it, adults whispered about it, some said it was cursed. Others said it whispered back if you stood too close. But Elsie, a curious and quiet 12-year-old girl, didn't believe in ghost stories. She lived next door and had grown used to the wind singing through its broken shutters. Her mother, a schoolteacher, often told her, "Stay away from that place, Elsie. There are things in the world best left alone." But Elsie believed that everything had a story, and she was determined to find the hollow houses. One rainy afternoon, while waiting for the storm to pass, Elsie noticed something strange, a flicker of candlelight in the top window of the house. She blinked. No one lived there. The place had been abandoned for decades. The next day, she returned. The same window glowed faintly at dusk. And then, she saw it. A shadow moved behind the curtain, not fast, not fearful, but slow, graceful. Like someone dancing. Elsie couldn't sleep. She grabbed a notebook, a flashlight, and her courage. The next evening, she climbed over the old gate and stepped inside. The hollow house smelled of dust and time. Wooden floors creaked. Paint peeled from the walls like curling paper. But it wasn't cold. In fact, it felt warm, as if someone had been there, keeping it alive. She followed the faint light up a spiral staircase, her breath tight with excitement and fear. At the top, she pushed open a door. And froze. There, in the center of the room, was a girl. She wore a gray dress, had long black hair, and eyes that seemed to hold galaxies inside them. Around her danced shadows, not evil, not dark, just shadows of memories. A boy laughing, a mother sewing, a cat chasing its tail. "Who are you?" Elsie whispered. The girl smiled. "I'm Leora. I speak to what people leave behind." Elsie didn't understand. "You mean ghosts?" Leora shook her head. "Not quite. Shadows are what remain when people forget. I give them stories again. I help them be remembered." Each night after that, Elsie returned to the hollow house. Leora would show her how to listen to silence, how to see the past in dust, how to hear a heartbeat in an empty room. They listened to the footsteps of a father coming home from war. They read the invisible diary of a girl who once wrote poems into her pillow. They watched the shadow of an old dog waiting forever at the back door. Elsie's notebook filled with stories, names, and moments that were never spoken but deeply felt. Then one night, Leora said, "Tomorrow, I'll be gone." Elsie was shocked. "Why? Where will you go?" Leora smiled softly. "Shadows only stay where they're needed. Now, you can speak for them." That night, Leora taught Elsie one final thing: how to let a shadow rest. How to give a forgotten story. And then, as the candle flickered for the last time, she faded like morning mist. The hollow house never glowed again. But Elsie kept visiting, alone now, with her notebook and quiet smile. She cleaned the rooms, placed candles on windowsills, and read stories aloud to the empty halls. People noticed. The house no longer felt cursed. In fact, it felt comforting. Years passed. Elsie became a writer, of forgotten tales, of quiet people, of moments trapped in time. Her books were read all over the world. And in every one, hidden somewhere, was a whisper. A candlelight. A girl who spoke to shadows. Crescent moon. Moral of the story: sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones left behind. And sometimes, it takes someone brave and quiet enough to hear them. Thanks for watching.